The whiskey glimmered in the low light as I swirled it in the glass, sitting back in my worn leather chair. The fire in the hearth threw long, dancing shadows across the study, the warmth of the flames doing little to thaw the cold emptiness that had settled inside me. Margaret's voice buzzed through the phone speaker, sharp with irritation and dripping with mockery. "Honestly, Robert, you're impossible," she sneered, her tone heavy with self-pity. "You don't even care that I'm not coming home tonight. Walter doesn't miss me either, so maybe I'll just stay with him for a while." Her words, once knives that sliced through me, now landed with dull edges. Walter, her chosen companion in betrayal, was no longer a source of burning rage, just a familiar ache I had long since stopped fighting. I lifted the glass to my lips, let the whiskey burn its way down, and replied with calm indifference. "Why not take a few more days like you did last time? No need to hurry back to a marriage without love when your lover is waiting." A heavy silence lingered on the line before I ended the call, her lack of protest cementing the decision I had been building toward for weeks. The signs had been there, subtle at first. Late nights at work that never added up, shopping bags filled with clothes too costly to be labeled bargains, the constant presence of her phone kept face down, her secretive smiles lighting up as she typed. The truth had hit me like ice the night her tablet buzzed on the counter. Walter's name flashing with a preview. Looking forward to our weekend, I booked the suite. When I confronted her then, she lashed out, her anger defensive, her excuses tangled like barbed wire. But I refused to engage. I saved the message, inhaled deeply, and began to plan. Patience has always been my ally, outlasting anger every time. Over the following weeks, I gathered evidence with meticulous care. Receipts, hotel bookings, photographs supplied by a private investigator. Walter, a real estate developer with a reputation for chasing women, was simply another conquest for Margaret. But neither of them realized I had already begun dismantling their little world from the shadows. Whispers in the right ears, discreet documents slipped into the right hands, and Walter's polished image began to tarnish. Meanwhile, Margaret grew bolder, mistaking my silence for apathy, unaware that lawyers had already drawn up papers, accounts had been frozen, and every thread of our shared finances was being rewoven in my favor. The final act began when she announced she'd be gone for a weekend wellness retreat. I nodded absently, but the moment she left, I set everything in motion. She and Walter checked into a lavish suite in the Swiss Alps. Unaware the reservation was in my name, the charges tied to Margaret's account, the room wired with discreet cameras. From the comfort of my study, whiskey in hand, I watched their champagne toasts, their intimate embraces, their whispered declarations. By the end of that idyllic weekend, I had all the proof I needed. When Margaret returned, her arrogance filled the house like smoke. She breezed past me, not even meeting my eyes, carrying herself as though untouchable. In the bedroom, she began unpacking, humming lightly, unaware of the storm about to fall. "How was the retreat?" I asked evenly, leaning against the doorway. She froze, her back stiffening before she turned, her voice brittle. "Fine." I lifted my phone and showed her the screen. A photograph of her and Walter on the balcony. Champagne glasses raised in a toast. "This retreat?" I asked, my tone as sharp as the evidence itself. Her face drained of color, her confidence collapsing in on itself. Before she could summon excuses, I cut her off. "I don't need explanations. I already have everything I need. What I want now is justice." I tossed the phone onto the bed. Alongside it, a stack of printed receipts, photographs, and documents lay like the final nails in her coffin. Her voice trembled, desperate. "Please, Robert, it was a mistake, I'm sorry." I interrupted coldly. "Forgetting to turn off the oven is a mistake, Margaret. Cheating for months is a choice. A deliberate, repeated choice." Her eyes welled with tears as I handed her a folder. Inside were divorce papers. "You'll notice," I said firmly. "You leave with nothing. No house, no accounts, not even the car. It's all mine now." Her hands shook as she flipped through the pages, her face shifting from disbelief to despair. "You can't do this. We've been married 15 years, Robert. You can't just disregard that." I stepped closer, my voice quiet but unyielding. "You disregarded it the moment you decided I wasn't enough. You made your choices. Now you'll live with them. I turned to leave but paused at the doorway. And